All right, I'm ready. I hit the button.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Fast Charging with B&B. I am Brian,
And I am Bear.
and we are back with another amazing episode, of course, because that's how we do it. How are you, Bear?
I am great.
Good to see you.
A little tired, but I'm ready for this amazing episode of Fast
Yeah.
Charging number 33.
Can you believe it? Where
33.
do the
Yes.
time it go?
Yeah, it's like we're doing this every day. But to get to 33 already? Wow.
Yeah. And
I don't know
for
what's so
the
magical about that number, but it
and for
seems
those
like a
curious
lot.
in the chat, I have hit the 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours necessary to monetize. Yay! And now we're waiting for
But
YouTube to review the channel. The review is in progress. From what I've read online, it could take a few days. They say within a month. It's like, guys, you get money too, you know. Just how it's not automated, I do not know, but all right.
yeah, it's you know what? It's probably going to happen about 5 minutes after the stream ends.
Yeah,
That's my prediction.
yeah, yeah. Maybe by the time I do my Friday live stream, it will be up. But who knows? Who knows? What do you want to talk
So,
about, man? Anything going on?
uh, yeah, no.
No.
Let's just call it.
Yeah, it was
I
a good
think.
show. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Smash and
Bye bye.
bonk, and don't forget to Do you know that
All right.
Choppy charging access hampers EV growth potential much more than it appears on the surface?
Well, I don't know why they say much more than it appears on the surface. I think it's quite obvious because if you got someone renting a car, for instance, and they go try and an EV, try and charge them, they're clueless. And I've got people renting my Teslas, and oh yeah, I know what to do. I know what to do, and they're constantly bringing these R's down to 4%. And Tesla has some of the easiest supercharging setups with probably the most functional. And I know these other ones don't. We talked about it last week that they have a lot of issues. 25% ish or so of every charging station has an issue. So charging access, I include that if a charger's not working, you don't have access. So I definitely think it has a big effect. And what do you think about that?
Well, so this chart is kind of weird to me. It says only 12% of respondents have access to charging where their vehicles are parked at home. I believe that low number is in part because people don't have charging set up at home yet. I'm confident more than 12% of Americans would have access to charging at home if they installed a charger.
I agree with that 100%. But you can always get a poll to make it look like whatever you want it to make look like.
Well, I don't think this
But
was made. Morning Consult is very reputable. I believe the bias comes in the from the respondents themselves. Only half of EV and hybrid owners have access to charging at home. That's ridiculous. That's not. Maybe they haven't
yeah,
installed it, but if you're buying a $50,000-$60,000 hybrid, I'm gonna tell you right now, you could put a charger in at home.
yeah. Well, but that's what I'm saying. The question itself, respondents who have electric vehicle charging access where their vehicles are parked. Um, I mean, it's kind of a loaded question, and though I don't understand how only 56%. Oh, you know what? If they put hybrid in the same category as EV, I mean it's a loaded question.
Right. They
Why
don't
would a
need
hybrid
charging at
Why would
home.
a hybrid owner need charging access?
Right. So yeah, but it is an obstacle. Faux show. Did you see that brilliant bit of coverage from Fox Business?
That was a horrible article. I read that a couple days ago, and the guy's problem was his own ignorance
For
and
sure.
not planning his trip properly, and he wants to blame the EV. If you're going to go to a level 2 charger, that is what I don't know what he went to, like 16 kilowatt chargers, or whatever it was. if you're planning your trip and you plan to go there, expect to be there for 8 hours. You don't do that. That is not a trip charger. That is not something that you stop at while you're doing a road trip.
And when it says, the headline is, I rented an electric car for a 4-day trip. I spent more time charging than I did sleeping. Guess what, my friend? That Venn diagram could be a near perfect circle because you can charge it when you sleep. That's kind of the plan. But the sub-headline to me is the better part. 4 days and 2,000 miles from New Orleans to Chicago, $175 in charging. How many tanks of gas is that?
Depends on what you're driving, of course, but that seems like not too bad as far as charging costs go.
That sounds like 2 tanks of gas. You cannot cross the country
days,
on 2 tanks of gas.
Absolutely. And keeping in mind that this person did not have a charging plan, they're paying the highest prices. And whenever you're using any type of charger on the road, you're always subject to the prices that they charge there, which is going to be a lot different than it will be at home.
It's going to be double. PlugShare app, a user-generated map of public chargers, showed thousands of charging options, but most were level 2, requiring around 8. Hey, you know what? There's an app called A Better Route Planner. I feel like if you are an expert in this subject, and if you're not, don't write the article, you would know that. And I've yet to hear anything bad about A Better Route Planner.
Yeah, this is overall an embarrassing article.
Yeah.
And it went on way too long also. It was too long talking about how many times that they screwed up. So not impressed, and obviously it's just another hit piece.
But these things move public opinion. And in
do.
some ways, these echo public opinion, even when they're grossly inaccurate.
Yes. Yes.
So what do we need to solve charging?
Well, you say we need the government.
Huh?
Okay. We're not quite there yet, are we? All right. So you're saying expansion of
Charging generally.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question for you because you own Teslas and you rent them and you drive them and you love them. Expansion of the charging network lags behind sales. Is it an issue where you live?
There are no superchargers that are close to me that I would drive to. There is nothing. I mean, we're talking from where I live, a supercharger that I would go to, because I would not go to anything that was less than 150 kilowatts or 125. I think anything below that, why am I going there when I can charge at my house? Granted, it's 30 miles per hour. It's not comparable, but I'm not going to drive. Like Casa Grande is one of our nearest superchargers. It's 50 miles away. We've had occasions where we've flown over Lucid and we've had to charge because we didn't have a full charge starting the day, and we have used that supercharger. There's some in Scottsdale, which is also going to be 30 miles, 40 miles away. There is none in my area, and when I say my area, I don't just mean my town. I mean the surrounding towns also. They are in the main area of Phoenix. So there is definitely, and these are just Tesla chargers I'm talking about. There are some EA chargers, which I can't use without a $500 adapter. So yeah, there's definitely a lack of superchargers, but I don't need them. I don't need them around my house. So,
by the way, on my channel, I'm running a poll right now. The question is, what's the biggest obstacle to EV adoption? Purchase price is currently leading, followed by supply constraint, and in last place with a vote is lack of charging infrastructure with 11%, and of course 0 votes so far on I still don't get why EVs are good, which shows the selection bias of viewers to this show.
Yeah, a little bit.
So they're saying it's about 80 cars per stall, 80 cars that in existence per stall, which does sound high until you realize most people charge at home. I don't know if it's an issue yet in terms of that, but expansion would be a good thing. And like you said, not everybody can use every charger, which is something they're working to address.
Yeah, I would like to see some sort of standard on that, and I think Tesla's probably going to lose on this. It's not going to be the Tesla standard just because the current administration does not like Tesla, so they're going to try and put forth what something else. Whoever gives them the most kickbacks, of course. But yeah, I would like to see more superchargers. I think it would help, but I don't think it's. I think when people hear stories about renting a car and having all those issues, I think that's when people think that it's worse than it actually is.
So, have you seen that the administration is proposing new standards for a national electric vehicle charging network with an objective to standardize it so anybody can use any charger? And
Yeah.
Chatamo is a bit left out on this one because it never really caught on, and it's too slow, and it's not for the future. It's not great. But what are you thinking on this?
Well, I know that there's been some push to get level 2 chargers pushed out by the government, and I'm very worried about that. 'Cause, well, I don't lose sleep over it, but it concerns me that level 2 chargers are not going to be fast enough. They need to put chargers in that can charge vehicles as quick as possible. You want to get them down to a time that's close to refilling an ICE motor.
Absolutely, 100% agree. They need,
And
yeah, destination chargers can be level 2. I wouldn't mind seeing level 2s at movie theaters and shopping malls, but that is not, that is something business should be handling, not the administration. Although
yeah,
getting everybody to use the same plugs would be
a
appreciated.
good, yeah, that is definitely a good step. I'm just scared that they're going to start putting out level 2 chargers that are, let's say, 50 kilowatts,
Oh,
which is not adequate. But they're going to invest millions to billions of dollars on something that is not adequate. But that would be typical government, and it doesn't matter which administration is there. Any government, I could say just, oh yeah, sure, who's giving me the biggest kickback? Oh yeah, we'll go with your level 2 chargers. They're 50 kilowatts. That sounds like a lot. When in reality, you've got companies like Tesla, Electrify America. They're working to get 350 kilowatt chargers out there. So I could see this just if they can get the standard going, yay. If they, but the level 2 chargers, I don't want to see anything pushed out until uh, the best is out there for charging solutions. As you can pull into a Shell station, plug it in, and be done in 10-15 minutes, and on your way.
Andy just commented, remember, not all EV owners have garages to charge in at home, although most Tesla owners probably do. I would agree with that. If you're buying a $10,000 secondhand Leaf, you need you may not have a garage, and you may need charging. So it's
Right.
But this is not, this is at least an attempt to make a step in the right direction. Are there any dumber suggestions out there?
Dumber suggestions?
Yeah, like no free EV charging without also offering free gasoline and diesel. North Carolina House bill would place limits on car charging stations.
So where are people getting free charging, by the way?
Oh, sometimes it'll be at City Hall. Sometimes it'll be, I think it was Blink who has some little free, very slow chargers at places like Walgreens. Yeah, there are places where free charging exists.
Yeah, that's stupid. So, yeah, sorry, Mr. Segway, but yeah, this is this is really stupid, and I hope it doesn't get passed. The whole idea of offering free charging right now, which is not going to last forever, is just to get people to move over to EVs. So it's just one of those small incentives. People are probably not getting a 250 kilowatt charger getting charged up in 20 minutes. These are probably just trickle chargers. So
Yeah, that's exactly
stop
what it
whining.
is. Yeah, this would require any customer who uses an EV station must receive a receipt. Oh, that's the other part. Is it says if you're getting free charging at Walgreens, it has to say on your receipt, by the way, this much of what you spent today was given away as free charging to other people. And even if it's a few pennies, there's people who are going to complain
Oh yeah.
because
Oh yeah.
because the world is full of Karens.
Yeah, this is. I really don't see something like this passing, but geez, you never know.
You never know. Also, it'll be difficult. One of the comments I had read is that it's difficult to create a law which compels speech, and listing that on the receipt would be compelling speech. It'd be like, could you, instead of having a plastic bag ban, could you put on there how many turtles are going to die because of your purchase today? And you're never gonna. It's never gonna pass. But this is the fact that it's so stupid, but still in some regard moving forward, is just a testament to how goofy stuff is.
Yeah, what a waste of time.
What a waste.
Wow. But speaking of the government giving money away,
Yeah.
that's almost over for Toyota. They are running out of federal EV tax credit. This is actually a little bit of an older article, but I was looking up the new Toyota
Buzzforks.
Buzzforks.
BZ4X. How do you pronounce it? It's Buzzforks, right? Let me know in the chat. I'm pretty sure it's Buzzforks.
I can't pronounce that because it's obviously not a word. It's got numbers in it, but I keep forgetting the name of it. But I might be able to remember it now that it's called Buzzforks. Mm-hmm. And I did take a look at this car because since this is coming out, and all the Toyota dealerships in Arizona are putting market adjustments on hybrids, so there's market adjustments on this. So they're basically going to take your tax credit, but they are starting to trickle in. They are unbelievably odd looking with that. What do you think of that wheel well fender flare?
Well, I think the car looks great. I can't wait to see the finished version.
Yeah. It comes with a free can of paint, so you could finish spray painting.
Well, this is the prototype, right?
Nope, that's the actual car.
The unfinished, unpainted. Well, if you get it in a different color, though.
If you get it in a different color, you still get those black things surrounding the wheels.
Oh, okay. So the objective is to not sell any.
Well, yeah, pretty much, and that's why the range is probably, I think it's around 225 on the low side, maybe 250 on the high side.
I'm going to tell you right now, that does not look like a finished car.
No, it doesn't. Who thinks this looks finished? Let us know in the comments. Who thinks this looks pretty?
Wow. Wow. Oh.
Yeah. So this is your buzz fork.
That
and,
is. Well, I'm going to click on view photos because I'm sure it's not going to be. Boy, that is not for me. That is not for me.
Yeah.
Boy, I do not care for that. Well, I mean,
And
I've
all
seen.
they got to do is paint those fenders, or do something with it to make it look like it's part of the car. I don't understand why they're black on every version.
Pretty dumb. Pretty dumb.
So Toyota used most of their tax credits on plug-in hybrids.
Pretty
Because
dumb.
plug-in hybrids count towards the federal EV tax credits. So since this is like one of their first all electric, I mean, I thought they had the RAV4 that they did 10, 15 years ago with Tesla or something.
Yes, but they sold very few.
Right, but I don't want to say that this is their first and there was others.
Sure.
But so they blew their load on plug-in hybrids. So good move, Toyota. So they should be out by September or October. They'll be out of credits.
So we got some comments responding to our opinions of the looks. Toyota Brick is a good one from DK. We've got put a panda face on the front. And
Nice, panda.
MD Hofsey says, it reminds me of an Aztec.
Oh, God.
and unnamed
Oh.
man appreciated Buzz Forks.
Yeah, and Aztecs remind me of Breaking Bad. So apparently we have the methmobile.
You'd have to be on it to find this attractive.
Yeah, Jordan brings up a good point. The demand for EVs is so high, I bet they will still sell everyone they can.
Do we need a federal EV tax credit in order to sell them? So on my poll, and I'll give one more shout out for this poll, we're at 57% saying the obstacle to EV adoption is the purchase price. In second place, at 33%, is supply constraint. What do you think of that, Bear?
I'm going to vote for supply constraint.
That's my
That's
vote
where
as
my-
well.
That's where my vote goes. Considering I have 7 EVs on order right now, so
Right.
that means if they were here, I would buy them. It's not the price; it's the fact that they don't exist.
Right.
And by the way, last week I had 8 EVs on order, and one of them is no longer on order.
Which one?
The Model S. It's here.
You got it. It's in hand.
Oh. Yeah. Well, not in my hands, but
Well, get
I've
bigger
got
hands.
no, I got pretty big hands. I don't think. I think it would look awkward if I had bigger hands. My hands are this big.
I found a doctor in Mexico who'll do it.
Oh God. You have to go to Colombia, actually. I've looked into it.
Feeling like we should move on to car registration data from the UK. Diesel down 50%, petrol down 25%, MHEV diesel, I'm not sure what that is, down 45. Anyway, BEVs up 18% and HEVs up 12%. Wow.
HEVs,
Is it hydrogen? Is that what that means?
hydrogen? No.
Can't
No.
be. Well, what is an HEV? Hybrid
Oh,
electric
hybrid,
vehicle.
just a
There
hybrid.
we go.
And then the plug-in hybrids were actually down.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know why. So the market share for BEVs is up to 12.5%, which is great.
Yes, that is fabulous.
Yeah.
Or should I say fabulous?
Okay. That's a thing that just happened.
Yeah.
So, Mary Led went ahead and teased the new Chevy Blazer.
Yeah, and you know what? I look at that picture and I go, "Oh, it's so never going to look like that." But that actually looks good like that.
You don't think it's going to look like that?
No, because that paint job is obviously CGI, because there is no car looks like that. You know that.
Yeah.
So you know it's all CGI. They're going to come out with some dull brown color on it, and it's still not a Blazer like I like Blazers. K5 Blazer
Right.
put up against a Bronco. They bastardized the name.
Oh, you know what? When you go down to the camouflage images, those very interesting scoops and swoops are definitely not there.
Oh yeah, I definitely don't see that.
No.
The little gulf in
A contour of that magnitude would be visible on the camouflage, and it ain't. That's disappointing. It's especially disappointing considering that she is the market leader.
Well, she's led us, and I do appreciate her leading abilities.
Astray.
But I would really like to see the car that's up top, not the car that's on the bottom. And I'd also like to see some numbers on it. So I have to hold my opinion back until we can actually see what the car looks like.
Can you wait a month?
I don't know. Maybe what, July 18th?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest with you though. If it's reasonably priced, even if it's not like that gorgeous, I would put an order in for it.
Yeah.
In this market, why not?
Yeah. Yeah. And it might
$100,
It might look great. We don't know.
unless the specs on it, you know.
Right. If it's only 220 miles, then
Yeah, I'm
So-
not interested in the 220.
I appreciate this next article that Bear found. It is one of
Ridiculous.
Bloomberg's hot takes, but rather than give them the clicks, he gave them to electric, which I think is better. Because the Bloomberglers are no bueno.
Yeah.
So they think that Volkswagen will overtake Tesla in 2 years.
18 months.
18 months. Is it going to happen?
Oh, way. Did you see the chart?
It's so dumb. It's
Bring
so
the
dumb.
chart up.
I don't know. Some of our viewers may not know this, but in order to sell an EV, you have to make an EV, and those require factories. Apparently, Bloomberg doesn't know that, so maybe that's a misconception commonly held, is that you can just print them. But they don't have the factories. And this is at a time when Giga Shanghai is about to expand and is hitting records all the time. Giga Berlin is coming online. Giga Texas is coming online. And Fremont just had their biggest single day of production ever. My friends, you shall be struggling.
Yeah, it is quite amazing. It looks like Tesla projected at like 1.4 million for this year, which is probably going to be spot on. But they have them, if I'm looking at the chart, probably about 1.9 next year. And then only going up another couple 100,000 for 24 and 25, which is amazing because they based on that, it seems like they don't think that Tesla's going to make a Cybertruck.
Right.
Where are the Cybertruck numbers in here? They think that Toyota's going to be at 500,000? Maybe, but why is Toyota on this list when they don't really even have a car out yet, when you've got Kia and Hyundai, they're selling every car that they roll out. Every Ioniq and EV6 is done. It's gone. I mean, I hate to say it, but Lucid should be on here. Rivian, are they just thinking they're going to file bankruptcy?
If Lucid's plans go as expected, they could very easily outsell Toyota in the pure EV space. And yeah, this chart, you think Toyota's going to get to 500,000 pure EVs by 2025? Maybe, but there's no data today that suggests that. And like you said, their Tesla numbers level off and their VW numbers accelerate. It's terrible. This is okay. Yeah, fine.
So, yeah, they smoke a lot of crack at Bloomberg, and that's okay. Whatever makes them happy. I don't care. I don't care if they want to, shotgun 18 beers and write an article. And as long as they get the grammar right, that's what matters.
Yeah.
So, another hit piece. So,
is this one a hit piece on Car Scoops? Ford responds after ridiculous dealer F-150 Lightning price markups are brought to light.
you know what? I read it, and it is possible that one of two things happened here, because the additional dealer markup was the same price as the MSRP.
Right?
So either there was a sales manager saying, "Let's just try this and see what happens," or some new guy just input the number wrong, which is what they're saying. They said that they were supposed to enter the ADM, but they entered the MSRP in the wrong spot.
Totally.
Well,
That's
that could
super
happen.
believable.
No, honestly, that could happen. I've had some real dumb people work for me.
That's
I
It's plausible deniability, but it's not super plausible. There's a 1% chance that happened and a 99% chance they're like, the first thing you said, where they were like, let's just see what happens. And hey, if we get called out, we can be like, oops. But it's not real because they still put a $30,000 markup on it.
Yeah, and apparently it wasn't even a vehicle that they could sell. So it's a mannequin, which really is annoying. A mannequin apparently is the name that they use for a vehicle that they use to demo, to show people what it looks like. And I've found that several Ford Broncos in Ford dealerships, and they're like, "Oh, that's pretty cool. How much is it?" Well, it's not for sale yet. We have to hold it for 6 months before we can sell it. So what's it for? Oh, it's just for demos and test drives. I'm like, oh, so I can't do it. Yeah, we've got three of them. This one Ford dealership. So they're called mannequins, which is interesting.
You've got three.
They had three of them, and they just couldn't sell them for 6 months. So this dealership has one, and they weren't even supposed to put a sales price or try and sell it. Though I tell you, the Ford dealership that I was at, they with the three Broncos, they had a sales price on it, and you could pre-buy them. They also had a $25,000 market adjustment on a $35,000 vehicle. It was a base Bronco, which they put $15,000 worth of add-ons, bumpers and racks, some cool stuff, but not $15,000 worth. And then they slapped on the $25,000 ADM. So they took a truck that had a base price of $35,000 and it was now sitting at $75,000. So ridiculous stuff.
Insanity. And
Yeah.
Unnamed Man came up with a good point. Are those worldwide figures where Toyota is selling rebadged Chinese cars in China and nowhere else? I don't think so, because the margins on those are probably not meaningful in the grand scheme of Toyota's revenue. But if you include those, it's like GM including their Wuling Mini EVs in their total global output, which is so dishonest. Because those cars probably only have $500 a margin, of which GM gets $200.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just floating your numbers. Hey, before we go any further, I just want to thank JJ for a super chat from earlier. He said something about not finishing cars never stopped Tesla from selling them. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It's JJ.
Yeah, well,
Thanks,
and
JJ.
and as much as he's joking, it's not entirely wrong.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Fair. Update. Ford halts Mustang Mackie deliveries. Recall remedy expected next month. Ford has instructed dealers not to demonstrate or deliver any new in-stock vehicles involved in the recall. What's that about?
I don't know, but there's a problem with the pack, with it getting too hot or something and welding itself together. So I don't know what's going to exactly happen with this, because they say they don't have a solution until Q3 of this year. I wonder if they have a solution, but they can't implement it till Q3.
It says they don't have it. It says, however, there is reportedly no current fix available. But luckily, in the recall notice we filed with NHTSA, please note it's not a stop sale. Dealer can still sell. They just can't deliver the vehicle.
So this might affect me. I've got a Mackie on order, and it's supposed to be in around August or September. But if they are not able to sell these, are they going to stop producing them until they get this fix? Is this shutting down the line?
I feel like it would have to. If the fix is unknown, and this is according to Ford, you'd be crazy to keep making them if you don't know what the fix is. This is very discouraging. The Ford Lightning or the Ford Mackie has done very well in reviews. People seem to really enjoy it. This is a potentially Chevy Bolt level setback.
Yeah, well, I hope not. Now, it says that the Ford points to a lack of parts for the fix. So maybe going forward, the new ones that haven't been built yet can actually be built with the correct parts. Maybe. Maybe not. So
It's unfortunate. We are doing better on time than I expected. This is good.
what time is? Oh, look at that.
Because we've got a lot of headlines here, you guys. Unnamed says, no way will they be shutting down the line. They'll park them and fix them after, like they did with the part shortages on the F-150s. Not the Lightnings, but just the regular F-150s that had quite a bit of them sitting parked.
Yeah, they had fields and fields of those trucks
They
sitting there.
They sure did. Where's the new factory going, man? Tesla's got to build more factories.
I have room in my backyard, but maybe it's going to go in Canada or Mexico.
Yeah, and Canada's got some good stuff going for it. I feel like there was a YouTuber who, a while back, might have made a video going over 24 of the different candidates. Of course, it's a plug. There's a picture of me on the screen. In my video, it was 2 videos. I went through them, and if you guys want me to put the full math out, the Patreon one where I show all the breakdown, I can do that. Just let me know in the comments. I'll get it posted or something. The Canada on my list came up as number 2 out of 24 because they have great engineering. They have a stable economy. They have a good projected GDP growth. They have a lot of auto factories already. They have a good domestic market. They've got tariff-free import-export through North America. It's the only thing they don't have going for them is high labor costs, which has never stopped Tesla before, which is why they're operating in the most expensive city in the US and the most expensive country in Europe. France might be more expensive than Germany, but they're right at the top.
So what about Mexico? Where did they fall on the list?
Real low. I don't remember. 18, I think. Real low. Because they do have some corruption. They do have...
Some?
Mm-hmm. It depends where you are.
Some.
They do have some political instability, but they do have cars and all that. I just don't know how much benefit there would be to building there. I don't know. So it's all numbers based. It's all done in Excel. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of that one.
Raise your hand if you've ever had to bribe a Mexican cop.
Can you believe it? I haven't. I've been to Mexico many times, and I haven't had to. But I don't spend as much time near the border. Yeah.
Yeah, well, going down in a couple weeks, I'm going to bring my bribe money with me.
Yep.
Always keep your bribe money separate from your actual money.
Right. It's like your winnings pocket in Vegas, so that when you've spent all your money, you can take out your winnings and be like, ha, I'm not broke yet.
Oh, I've never done that. I should try that.
Oh, yeah. That was something, I don't remember, my mom said or somebody said. Yes, JJ, with his classic that I still love, Gigante Mexico. It's a good one. Gigante. Good stuff. So you know those layoffs we were talking about?
Who's getting laid off?
Well, less people than we thought. Elon had mentioned we're slashing 10%, but you know, Giga Berlin's still recruiting. Shanghai is not laying anyone off. I think it's more about trimming the fat. I really do.
Oh, certainly. It's for the people who want to pretend to work.
Yes.
I love that phrase.
Yes.
I love that phrase.
And in my comments on my video about the layoffs, I got a lot of people very upset with me because I said some companies perform better without work from home components. There's some jobs that just get done quicker in person. And a lot of people say, "What? But people deserve to work from home." Great. There are a lot of jobs that will let you do that. If it was me, I wouldn't take a job that made me go in 5 days a week or 6. I wouldn't do it. But if I was younger, oh, absolutely. And when you watch videos by like Joe Justice and Farzad, who have worked there, they can explain to you how being there hands-on makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I can tell you 100% working from home for me means about a 99% reduction in productivity. Just saying.
Not 99 for me. It depends what it is. But my extracurricular browsing activities are different when I work from home.
I bet they are. I'll bet they are. Because, well...
Did you know, family friendly, did you know LG Energy is going to invest $500 million in their new 4680 battery plant?
Which I assume they're making for Tesla, right?
It would seem so. It does say in the mass production of Tesla 4680 battery cells. Start production as soon as next year.
Doesn't it make you wonder why they didn't start building these factories like a year or two ago?
I have a theory. I was thinking about this earlier today. I believe Tesla thought it would be a lot easier than it was to get these plants up and running, making 4680s, and it's turned out to be a problem. Apparently, according to Dylan on Electrified, they only are up to 1 million cells a month in Texas, which is only enough to make like 1,200 cars. That's a problem. So I think Tesla kind of late set out to find more partners to build 4680s because we're going to struggle to keep up. And even at $500 million, it's only going to produce 9 gigawatt hours worth of production capacity, which is... oof.
Some change.
Yeah.
Some change.
So...
I have to interrupt with JJ's Super Chat because he throws money so he can get his voice out. Why, when Nikola is rumored to halt hiring, it's the end of the world, but when Tesla announces actually losing workers, it's bullish? I think when they announced that they were cutting 10%, I think the stock took a hit from that. Mm-hmm. I don't think that was looked at as a bullish thing, though I think normally when companies are laying off people, it is considered bullish. However, that Nikola rumor was that it wasn't that they, well, that was a mixed rumor of a lot of BS, including that half of a department had left or the entire department had left and that they were halting hiring. I don't think halting hiring on a startup is ever a exciting, bullish thing. I think that would be bearish, but it wasn't true.
And I've never covered Nikola hiring, firing, layoffs, staffing at all. I said that Tesla, in my video, I said that Tesla layoffs were not a bad thing, and that they could even be a good thing because they're not. You have to question the reason for the layoffs. Like Bear said, if a startup is laying off, it could be. If we were to hear that tomorrow that Rivian is laying off 10% of their workforce, that would be a big red flag for me.
Oh yeah.
But if I heard that Google is laying off 10%, I would not question that Google. I would question why 10%. It seems kind of big for a company like that, but I would assume that they're getting lean. Because it's not that Google's out of cash. It's that they, they make amazing products. So like when I say, hey, Google.
Sorry, something's not right.
That
Wait
happens.
a few minutes and try setting up again. You can also try unplugging your device and plugging it back in.
Amazing products.
So are there speakers playing? Like, can I say, hey, Google? And it's going to work?
Sorry, something's not right. Wait a few minutes and try setting up again. You can also try unplugging your device and plugging it back in.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens.
That's awesome. Because now whenever I want you to stop talking, I'm going to say, hey, Google.
Sorry, something's not right. Wait a few minutes and try setting...
You shut that off?
No, I turned it up accidentally, which still... Quality products. Inconsistent quality products.
So why is she saying that? If I say, hey, Google, isn't...
Sorry, something's not right.
Knock it off. Knock it off.
I don't know if I can.
It can't reach the Wi-Fi, and for some reason I can't get this Wi-Fi on that network. Anyway, it's a whole thing. And also I can't remove lights. So like when I tell it to turn down certain lights, it'll scream at me that it can't find other ones, and it won't let me remove them because it doesn't recognize my voice, and I can't add it because it's already been added. So it's a real gem of a product. Let's move on.
To be honest with you, every time I walk into someone's house and I see they have an Alexa, I say, Alexa, play death metal music, and then I just keep walking. Mm-hmm. And, because you basically have control of that device.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, enough playing with your, toy.
Electric last mile solutions to file for bankruptcy. I have a question. Who?
Who? I don't know who they are, but they have obviously run their last mile.
Yeah. Dead end solutions. They raised 1.4 billion from people who thought this was going to be the next hotness. But
Somebody got a new plasma TV out of that.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
there were too many obstacles for us to overcome in the short amount of time available to us. You had $1.5 billion worth of time. What'd you spend it on? As I understand, this company was trying to just buy Chinese vans and import them. But
Yeah, they probably needed $2 billion to figure that out.
And by the way, what a dumb plan in the first place because of the chicken tax. If you try to import a van or a cargo van or a cargo truck, you have a 25% import. It might be 27, but you have a very steep import tax, which right there is going to take a big fat bite. And how many people want to buy Chinese? Even in the picture, the trunk lid is crooked. That's their demo model. And it looks like CGI. I guess maybe part. I think the parts inside look. I don't know. It's a
I
great
love
way.
it. I think it's awesome. You know what I like the best? The right tail light on the bottom is different than the left tail light.
Wow!
know-
It's only got a backup light on one side.
Yeah.
That's to code. That'll pass. It's so weird that they failed. It's so weird. Huh. And to think
Well, I
all they
think-
had to do was spend other people's money.
$1.4 billion. Oh.
Incidentally, Digital Blade Canada said that their speaker went off as well. That's dumb. Guys, if you want us to think of your name as just a word that we use all day, don't make it the trigger for your voice-activated devices. Oh, any news for JJ?
Yeah, of course we saved it for him because we like for him to get tired and pass out. Well, Bosch announces $1.3 billion hydrogen technology investment by 2025. Hey, they could have used that money and bought last mile. Just saying.
Buy him one more mile. Who knows?
Yeah.
That could have been the mile that made the difference.
Our second last mile.
So for those who don't know, Bosch is a very big, what would that be, tier 1, tier 2 provider who makes all kinds of stuff for cars, control systems, spark plugs, I mean, all kinds of, they're huge. And I want to say they're working on their own self-driving initiative. I don't recall, but they're,
Yeah, everybody should.
yeah. And yeah, they're going to be working to expand hydrogen technology.
Yeah, and they also supply. What are they? JJ, are you still here? They supply the fuel cell system for Nikola for their future FCEV, and they are going to have a 50,000 square foot, which is not that big, building, I believe, at the Nikola site in Coolidge, Arizona, where they will be assembling some of these fuel cells that will be for Bosch.
If Bosch says they need 50,000 square feet, I believe them. It's not undersized, it's not oversized, it's the size they need. They know what they're doing. And we even got a comment on your side. Daniel says Bosch is great. And Digital Blade saying Bosch is supposed to have great engineering. What the? They do have great engineering. There's no what the. If there's going to be money in the hydrogen side, they are going to pursue it.
Yes, and there will be money, despite what you think, Brian. I'm sorry.
No, there will be money. I just don't think its long-term viability is assured. I think it's going to be a very expensive road to, yeah.
Complete the infrastructure. Let's just leave it at that.
Well, yeah, completing the infrastructure is going to be a monumental undertaking, and we do not have a space race caliber of love and affection for the project, and it's going to be difficult. Doesn't mean it can't work in a number of applications. Unnamed Man said hydrogen is great for high heat industry, planes, and boats, but nothing else. So we shall see. I don't have to, my opinion doesn't matter. JJE, a wise man once said, it's impossible until it isn't. Thank you, JJ. He's referring to me. I love to say that because, but there are limits to what physics can do. So we've got a few minutes here. If you guys want to get in questions, I'm going to close this poll here, but purchase price is apparently the leading obstacle to most people who think that is the obstacle to EV adoption. Right now it isn't. Maybe in a year or two, but right now demand is so high, I disagree. I think supply constraint is what's going on.
Well, you know what? The prices actually would be lower if there wasn't a supply issue.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why Tesla's raised prices over the last year, is because of the fact that there was so much demand, and also inflation and all that other nonsense. But that's what has raised prices. Been a big part of it, raising the prices. Just like the ADM is counted as the price of people buying the EVs.
You got a crypto spammer in your comments. Deeps. Get rid of him.
Deeps is not a crypto spammer.
Really? Boy, sure looks like it.
That last one, yeah.
Sure looks like it. So,
but Deeps has been around for quite a while.
Okay. Well, I apologize, Deeps. It sure looks like it. Got to be more careful. So, last thing we're going to cover, just kind of for funsies, is there's a new AI image generator called DALL-E. DALL-E? I went and typed in improved version of the Cybertruck and got some really great really great suggestions. Yeah, these are pretty.
They're pretty weird.
They're great. And then I also typed in Cybertruck, but more normal looking. How do you feel about those, Bear?
I'm trying to find which one that was.
I probably called it B0.
Well, you didn't name it on my computer, so
I didn't name it. That's a file name.
It looks like I didn't get that one. But I got the futuristic science fiction pickup truck.
That's a good one. Those are definitely gonna come to market.
I think the one on the bottom right that looks kind of like the side of a hill is definitely on its way there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I do like the police truck from the future. One of them apparently is a Nikola Tre, which is interesting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So all this was generated by AI?
Yes, sir. GPT, the project by OpenAI. Anybody know who OpenAI is in the comments? It should be kind of fun to look at. I'm going to go pop over to this guy real quick, the first one. Yeah, there's some... It's interesting. You just type in whatever, and it goes. This is on huggingface.co/spaces. You can just type in DALL-E Mini into the old search-a-rhubob and find it. Yeah, OpenAI, unless I'm mistaken, that's a company that was co-founded by that Muskie fellow who likes rockets. But he stepped back from the company because he felt it would create a conflict of interest with the AI they're working on at Tesla to solve self-driving.
Yeah. You know what you should say instead? Why don't you say, hey, Google into it and see what you get?
Aha, nice and quiet. Don't do that. If I have to mute you, you bastard, I will. So, Jokel asked, no review on the new Volvo car?
Yeah, just going to bring that up.
Which one?
Yeah. Which car are we talking about? Are we talking about the Polestar that was from last week, which is not really Volvo, but kind of Volvo? Or are we talking about something else? Because we did take a minute right before we started to see what the new Volvo car was, and we didn't get anything in our search results, but we only had 30 seconds and not enough magic mushrooms from Deeps.
Yeah. Deeps, you're not wrong. Some of the things you type in gives you amazing results, but anytime you try and type something with humans in it, the eyeballs get very, very peculiar. And if I did get a great one, I searched Predator alien dancing in a tutu, and it was magical. The results were magical.
Wow.
Yeah, there was another one I did where I mixed an artist. I said, I don't remember. I saw one that was Walter White drawn by a certain style, and it came out really good. Oh, I typed Iron Man painted by Van Gogh, and that gave me very good results.
All right. The VC40 is what?
DC40. Okay.
No, VC, Victor Charlie.
Victor Charlie 40.
And I was auto-corrected to C40.
I'm seeing C40. Okay. There we go.
Oh, I must accept some cookies.
Because I'm seeing Car and Driver from 2 years ago for the XC40.
He just has VC40.
B?
Victor Charlie.
That's what I'm searching. Okay.
And I'm currently looking under C40 because there is no VC40. And he reached out. Let's see. I've got a VC40 that costs about $59,000, and it's fully electric.
Well, that's something we can look at for next week because we've only got a few minutes left.
Oh, wait. It just ran my foot over. That's 226 miles of range.
Suboptimal. Suboptimal.
Disappointing. $60,000 for 226,000. And it has a lot of resemblance to the Polestar 1. Just like it just looks like it ate a little bit more.
Any last minute comments? We've only got a couple minutes left. You know who we should thank, Bear?
Mary?
She led and it matters. I was going to thank our patrons, both yours and mine. I was going to thank JJ for dropping the super chats. Apologies to all my fans who hoped to come in and drop me a super chat today. YouTube is still reviewing to make sure that my channel is actually eligible for monetization. That will happen eventually, I assume.
Yes. Hopefully before your 30th birthday.
Today is day 132 of the second channel since I've been publishing. And yeah, it is not going... I mean, it's been a journey. It's been a journey. And folks like JJ, Rick Thor, and Armand have joined at the 420 level, which is the official support level for the second channel. For not just the second channel, but for Fast Charging with B&B. The best simulcast on 2 channels podcast online. The only one that I know of, because we're trailblazers. We learned it. How did we learn to lead, Bear?
From Mary.
Of course. Of course. John wants to know, is Bera related to Bear?
I just want to say that I want to thank Mary for everything that she's done for me and that she's done for my channel. Thank you, Mary. You led the way.
Right. Digital Blade Canada says, we should do a game next week. Who will be the first super chat on Brian's new channel? I like that game. I think the better game is who's gonna do the most, because that's a game where everyone wins, especially me. Mostly me.
Next week on your channel, the person who donates the most gets something. Gets some sort of you must have something to give away.
I now have more than one of these. That'd be something. I love it. Discord flips it on my side. It looks backwards. Let's see. I've still got some of this swag from the event I could do. Those are nice.
A little higher. What was that?
The event swag.
The cards. Okay, yes.
Looking nice and backwards on my side. That's always great.
It looks great on my side, so I think.
Yeah. And on your side, I look away from the from the text, so that's cool. Yeah. All right. So, Bear, why don't you start the sign off?
All right. Well, I want to thank all of my patrons, and I want to thank all the people that have subscribed to Brian's channel to bring him to that 1,000 level so that he can get his live channel rocking and rolling. And we're going to be back here at the same time next week with more interesting topics and goofy topics. And maybe we'll even make fun of that Volvo a little bit more. And who knows what else. But thank you everyone for being here. And we will see you next week.
And yeah, I also want to thank my people before he kicks us off.
you
Your people are already
thank people.
leaving. I just wanted to, yeah, he's got some live stuff coming up. I've got mine on Friday. But of course, this is the best show on the internet. So join us next week. Same Bear time, same Brian channel. And yeah, thanks, guys. And we will see you, soon.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.